Hello there, this short video is a quick overview of some of the amazing interactive features that are available in our ATT system. I'm using the online version, but you can use the offline version in just the same way. I'm going to use some of the material that we've made about tyres to show you some of this. And there are two ways of accessing the interactive materials depending on what style of screen that is being used. So if I start with this one on basic checks, and just enter the course. There we go. And then the screen I'm going to use for this is just the one called Tyre Checks, just to keep it simple here. Okay, now this is the screen when it first comes up. These are our traditional screens whereby the picture comes up and the voice starts and we press the T button to show the text associated with that screen. Now of course on this screen, as with any, there's always the opportunity to use the annotate feature. So for example, if I wanted to grab a picture of that tyre, take it through to the annotator, add some arrows on it pointing at various features, showing how it's worn on the edges and the tread's not so bad there and different things like that, even though we need to stress here that this is an illegal tyre and so on, so we can interact with it in that way. Then we'll just get rid of that one, I don't need that one. But the other important part for interaction, so if I bring out the text here by clicking the T button, is this button here, and this is the button that we call interactive. When I click that button, it takes us through to a separate learning screen, whereas in fact I can just zoom that in a little bit like that to make it show up a bit more clearly. And the idea of this screen is that it's brought with it the title of the screen and the text associated with the screen, and from here we can use this series of different buttons, and this may change when you come and look at it because we're adding to this all of the time, but these all search for information, these search for media, you can make word clouds, puzzles, mind maps and so on. I'm just going to quickly look at the text search, the image search, word cloud, word search and mind map for now, but do try these out because there's lots of different things here that are a lot of fun. So to try the info search or information search, first of all, this is Wikipedia, this is my blog, this is Google, Reddit and one or two others on here. So if we just want to search Google, we can click the G button for Google and up pops Google like this, but you'll notice what it's done is that it's automatically searched for the phrase tyre checks, so it's looking through for different things associated with tyres automatically. And if we were to search some of the other features, then it works in just the same way. So we're going to try that back with a slightly different screen now. So that was coming from here, remember, so the traditional screens, we bring out the T and we use this interactive button here. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to the root of this course, looking at the menu, and this time I'm going to go into tread patterns and then enter the course. And here we are with one of our new style of screens showing information about winter tyres. And one of the things we can do here is just choose to show the picture associated with the screen. We can show the text, or we can show everything, or you could scroll up and down using a touch screen in these different ways. And in fact this particular screen has also got a video associated with it, but it's accessible in lots of different ways, just show the text and so on. Okay, so I'll just scroll down here because the way that the interactive material is accessed this time is very similar, but there's an I button here, look for interactive. We just click that one, takes us through to the same page that we were looking at once before, where again I'll just zoom in that little bit so we can see things in more detail. So for example now, if I was to go to search in Wikipedia, it searches for winter tyres, and in fact it defaults over to snow tyres, look, which is the same thing. And this allows extension activities, students to see things from different angles, learn things in different ways, so it's just a really useful resource. If I click Google Images, for example, lots and lots of pictures of winter tyres or snow tyres appear very easily and quickly in that way. One of the interesting things you can do here, if you select a word and then click search in, again, Wikipedia we'll try, it searches just for that particular word, so it's a way of really fleshing out the subject in some detail. Okay, so that very quickly are the search options, and you can try out lots more. One of my favorites here is if I just grab a copy of that text and I'm pressing Ctrl C to copy it, is this word cloud option. We go to this word cloud called Wordle and click go, and it takes a second or two while it churns through a few calculations, but it makes a word cloud, as you can see, in this way, which looks really good. And the idea of a word cloud is that the more often a word is used in the text, then the larger it appears. So for example, from a teaching point of view, we can be looking and seeing that snow, tyres, tread, compound and things like that, grooves, wider, are the words that appear in larger font and therefore are more important. And of course it's possible to copy that, save the picture, use it as part of a student project and so on. You can just scroll down a little here and randomize this, or choose colors and all sorts of different things. I don't like that one. A bit creepy. You know, there's all sorts of different ones. It's kind of fun playing with them. But there you go. That's Wordle for creating word clouds, which is a lot of fun. Another one that I like, I'm just going to grab a few words this time, those ones along there, and copy them, and go to this button here, which you can see when the label pops up, is about making word searches. So we can just paste in a few words into this box. We can add titles and a few things like that if you wish, but I'm just going to set the options here as 15 by 15. 15 by 15, there we go. And there's other options, I don't even know what a lot of them do. I'll let you investigate, but that's all we need to do. And click the button down at the bottom here, look, which says create a puzzle, and almost instantly, if I just zoom in with Control Plus, you can see that I've created a word puzzle. And the idea is now that we could perhaps set this as a task for half the class to make word puzzles that they then swap with the other half of the class and fill them in and things like that. Now I'm not very good at these, so I don't know whether I can find any words actually on here. I'll leave that to you and your students. You might be good at it, but it's worth thinking that getting a student to create a word search and then getting another student to find the words in the word search is a really good way of learning for both of the groups. Now what I'm going to do is cheat, look, because I can just click the words down here and it cheats. Or of course it's perfectly possible to just print this out and use it as an ordinary word search. There you go, great interactive features. It's going to work well with some groups of students, perhaps not so much with the more advanced student, but you know, there are lots of features available here. Anyway, the final one I'm going to show you, just for now anyway, we'll do another video showing more things later, is this one called a mind map or a mind wall. And I've put a link in here to a site that's called Bubble, and we can just sign in if you've already got an account, or just start brainstorming straight away. You don't even need an account, you can just go to it and start here. And the idea is that we can do things like start with the central word. Let's stick with the subject that we're working on, and then we can add sub categories like this, where we'll go for something like tread, and then we can add another thing called rubber, and another one called pattern, where we're interested in the tread pattern, and so on. And then these ones, look, we can move them around, and then we can add different things underneath some of these, and add different ones on the sides and all sorts of things. So there's lots of ways that you can work with them. So I see met recall, I'm sure I've spelt that wrong, I'll let you put that right for me, directional and so on. You know, you get the idea. So it's a really good way of building up a different way of looking at a subject. And once again, you know, why not get the students to do this as part of a project or something like that? There you go. Anyway, mind maps, we'll close that one down. I'll leave the page there and I'll close the interactive down. So as a quick reminder, just show everything on that screen. It's the I button here, allows you to access all sorts of things. And all we've done, we've had a quick look at the annotate, text searching, image searching, word clouds, word searchers, and mind maps. But when you go to the interactive page, look, there's lots more to choose from. Over to you. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.